How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the channel. This is Big Day Dave, and this is a kind of something new here for this channel here. I am going to try my hands on being a wee bit creative. I'm going to try and do a farm build. That's right. I've seen quite a few other creators out there who have tried their hands in developing a farm, just working on the actual building process. So I was like, why not? I'll give it a try. I haven't really gotten a chance to like really build out a farm from like beginning to end without having to take an entire series to do it. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope that y'all follow along and enjoy what I have to offer here. So, this is actually being taking place on Maisy Lou Farms. This is a map created by Matt and the Shanty Boys Map Creations. So, really looking forward to this. So, to be transparent, as you can see in the upper right hand corner, I have basically all the money. All the money, I just poured it all in. This is not to, grind and try and build out a farm from, the sweat of my brow, but this is to be a little bit more creative and a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more kind of artsy, I guess is how we can kind of go about looking at this. So what I ended up doing is I ended up buying a few of the farmlands up here in the northeast corner of the map. So you can see I got farmlands number 20, 17, and 37. Now 37 does include the original starting farm. I don't care about the original starting farm. I want it there as a kind of aesthetics, like a farm is there and present, but we're going to be building our farm on top of this plateau up here, right next to this little lake that's on this top right hand corner here. So let's go ahead and make our way out there. I'm going to go ahead and go to here and nope, not buy, to visit there. So you can see we've got this nice little rocky outcrop right here. So let's go here and you can see just what we have to work with. We got these two large areas right here. Both of them are covered in fields. I'm going to go ahead and delete both of those fields out, and this is going to be the kind of basis for our main farm. Now, what I do like about this is that it has this little two-track that runs right in front of the lake right here, and on this side of it, get a little like waterfall action going on here. So this is kind of why I wanted to build in and around this area. Is I thought this would just be a really cool kind of place to be able to build it up and make it into something special. So first things first, let's go ahead and take care of these fields. Get rid of them. So to do that, let's go ahead and go into the painting. Let's see, some grass. And then we'll just go ahead and paint this up. So just get rid of these fields like they never existed. Just like this. Yeah, look at that. Perfect. All right. Field number 1 is gone, so let's get rid of field number 2 over here. Something along these lines here. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so the way I kind of have this envisioned, there we go, is on this side of the lake. I'm thinking this side will be kind of the uh, main kind of where the house is going to be, some of the kind of storage and all that stuff. And I'm thinking this side over here is going to be where the animals and stuff will be kept. I think that'll be kind of a nice little layout over and like splitting this up into specific segments. So first things first, let's find a good spot for the house. I think that's going to be like kind of a get the basic structure down. So let's go here under farmhouses. Let's see. So we do have a couple of modded houses, but I'm thinking just going kind of basic. I mean, not basic per se, but just something that is base game per se. I'm thinking tuck this away like way back in the corner over here. Something like this. Let's see, I can get a little bit more precise. Let's see, I think... See, I almost think I want to rotate it so that it will... do I want the backside to face... See, I think I want the backside to kind of face like this general direction. So that way you get some of the lake, you're going to get, most of the farm in the background over here. I don't know, maybe kind of tucked away in the corner over here, something like this. And there, something like that. So that'll be nice because when you're upstairs or looking out the back, you see the lake. When you're in the front, you see river. I mean, look at that. That's going to be nice. I think that's nice. All right, so from here, let's get some of the basic structures down. So first things first, we're going to need like a silo system. We're going to need various other kind of storage options and all that stuff. So I'm thinking, let's see. And because really money is no object, we can really kind of go ham on all this. So we can make this a really that might be a little much. That might be a little much. What is this? Oh, little rock poking out. That's all right. Let's see. Oh, we do have something like this. Whoa. Okay. I thought the last one might have been much. This one, yeesh. That is a big, big building. Let's see. Let's keep on looking. Let's see. We got all these various silos for bales and stuff. What about this one? What's this one? The farm grains and liquids. This could be a decent one. Maybe do something like this here. Don't want to tuck it too much into a corner over there. That's the entrance there. Maybe put it over in this corner here. Let's see, something like that maybe? Let's see. There we go, something like that. We'll be able to smooth out everything later on. You can see how it kind of deforms the ground. Okay, so that's like that. That's good. Let's see. We're definitely going to want some kind of bale and pallet storage, so why not? Let's see. If we do something... Oh, here we go. Maybe something like that. Just a nice little storage area for our pallets and bales. Can put something like that right over here. Let's see. Yeah, I think right about there. Yeah, see, this is going to be really spread out. I didn't realize this is a really big area. Holy smokes. We're going to really be able to build this up and make this kind of huge. Let's see. So, ooh, you know what? I forgot I had these. I kind of like these. Hmm. You know what? All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a mulligan on that one. So, first things first, let's even out the ground. There, something like that. So that way it's all nice and flat again. And then go back. Silos, scroll all the way back down because this was quite a ways down. Right down, where is it there? Yeah, here we go. We do something like this to where we could have a series of these, like boop, 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 like, I don't know, maybe 6 or so of these, just kind of spread out on this side. Maybe you could do like 3 here and then 3 over here. Oh, maybe, okay, let's try that. Let's do something like that. Let's do like 1, 2, and 3. And then something like this. 1, 2, and 3. Well, I'm thinking so we can have this road, this kind of entrance, kind of shoot off in multiple directions. We can have it shoot off in this direction here to where it'll come up, the road will follow along here. We can have it also kind of splinter off into this direction, lead up to this kind of back road, continue on to over here. Okay, so now that we got that, let's do this. Silo extensions, I don't think, no, nothing like that for now. Constructibles, no, don't need constructibles. Containers, we can definitely put in some like fuel storage and some like some of these solid fertilizer silos, liquid fertilizer silos, the things along those lines, just kind of give the kind of modern conveniences on the farm itself. We are kind of tucked away a ways, so it kind of makes sense that you would have this stuff delivered out to you rather than just you know, having to go up to town every single time you needed more. Let's see, tools. So yeah, we're definitely gonna. And this being such a large map, I think some of these big buildings would fit quite nicely in here. I think this will work. I think this will work. Yeah. Actually, here, let's put it over here. Yeah. Right next to the house. All right, so if I customize it, I don't want necessarily a dark, like a dark red or anything along those lines. I'm thinking, actually, let's look at the color list. Okay. let's see, what color is the house? It's kind of a off-white, like a light brown almost. Let's see, so no, yeah, I think that beige will look just fine. And then pop this right about here. All right, yeah, that'll work. We got the big entrances on this side over here. We can get some smaller stuff tucked away in the side over here. Don't have to worry about that rock right there. Let's see, we got that big. All right, right. And if you take a look at them, I mean, having big equipment on this map makes sense. You got some big fields on this map, you know, especially like here on 4. 4 is what? Like 50 acres, 53 acres. This one here is 21. Yeah, 21 acres. I mean, so it makes sense. It makes sense to have larger buildings, larger equipment. So I'm going to be okay with that. Let's see. No, we got that one. That's not the one I wanted to click. See, I need it like on this side here, kind of jetting out into. I think maybe something like that. Oh, wait, did I color it? No, I didn't. Let's try that again. Customize. There we go, beige. Now we're talking. All right, let's try that again. Why is it saying overlapping? Okay, that's better. All right, so we got the grain bins over here for our individual stuff. Let's see. Definitely want a good header rack like this one here. This would be awesome. I think this needs to be right next to this monstrosity here. Maybe along this side of the wall. All right, let's do. There we go. Let's try and get this just a little bit straighter. Okay, and then right there. All right, that looks pretty good. We'll put a couple of headers on there. We'll have plenty of space in here to be able to work our way into it. Let's see. Okay, from here, we've got repair triggers and whatnot inside these buildings, so anything like that. I think they even have storage. we go. Something like that. And I know this one has a sleep trigger in it, which is totally cool with me because this is where guests can sleep. They don't get to sleep in the main house. All right, so thinking there. All right. All right, so we got kind of a good layout of how to make this functional. So we got plenty of storage, we got plenty of area, we got the nice house area over here. All right, so now let's try and envision how to make a road network. So, like I said, I think I can have a road splinter off over to here, have another section splinter off to here, follow it around to here, to here. Okay. So let's do. I like me some gravel. I like the gravel. So let's do this. Let's do that. Okay. So we come in from the 2-track and then we place in the gravel. So first things first, let's do it this way. We'll take the road and just kind of follow it along in this direction. Let's see. There we go. We'll just kind of widen it out just a bit so it kind of brings everything in. There. All right, there we go. So something like that. And what we'll do is after we get this area kind of taken care of, we'll narrow the road back down. Okay. So yeah, coming in from over there, that looks good. We narrow it back down. There we go. And then again, I think it'd be cool to incorporate this little back road in like that. So we can do something like this where we can kind of sweep into from here, kind of sweep out from here. We're going to add more details. Like we're not just going to leave this straight gravel. We're going to add in some tufts of grass in here and really kind of dress it up. But right now we're just kind of getting a general layout as of right now. And I think would be kind of cool if we kind of went to a main kind of focal point inside the yard here. Maybe put like a giant tree right in the center here. I think that'd be cool. Okay, from there I want to kind of follow this out to here. Widen this out just a bit. So you have room to operate in this area. Like I said, I think it would be worth exploring, kind of having a main like a main focal point in the yard, so that way, you know, we can come out with our equipment from these various storage points. Draw this down like so. There we go. Again, we can do something like this where draw this out, widen this a bit. There we go. So something like that to where we can get all of our equipment out, either out into the fields here. We'll make another path to kind of go around in this direction. Kind of join up. You know what? Let's just expand that whole thing just like that. So we got this big area here. Let's widen that out. Something like that. Okay, so from there, we got side entrances here. So we want to do kind of the same thing. We're going to make it to where they'll be able to get out of here. Just like so. We're going to want to get in and around all this. So just like that. Widen this out because it's going to be a big, you know, big headers, big machines over here. Okay. Something like that. We can connect this. We can also sweep this out like this. Can even sweep it like this. There we go. There. Kind of clean that up just a bit. Can even clean that up like so. Like that. Okay. We want to make entrances on both of these sides here. These are going to have to be less pronounced because we don't want them to lead too far in towards the house. So we can keep like small equipment towards the backside and use these doors. Okay, so something like that. There we go. And this needs to be really pronounced, like really wide. We're going to have big equipment in this side of it. So like that. Okay. And again, we're going to want to sweep out Around like that. Okay. So that's good. Let's get the house kind of incorporated in here. So let's do something a little bit different for that. I think some cool little brickwork would be pretty slick. I think I need to change the... let's see. There. Yeah, we're not going to be able to include that. You know, maybe do like a whole patio area in this kind of brick. Something like that. There we go. Okay. So now we got that. Nice little patio. I'll probably clean up the lines just a bit. Here, let's do that. There, something like that. Okay. Okay, perfect. And then let's extend that out just a bit. Now, there's no back porch on this, right? No, no back porch. It's just a big grand porch. So that's why I think just the bricks will be perfect for this, because just kind of gives it that more grand feeling to it. So I don't think it's straight. There, okay. Nice little grand patio. Can have a little driveway right here. Even give it like a little turnaround. Like so. Let's bring this like so. There we go. Okay. So now we need to go off like this. Something like that. Okay. Then, so similar to the last ones, we want a little working area out in the front. Like that. There we go. All right. And again, we want to make these little lanes coming to each one of these because we want to be able to get kind of to and from every bit of the farm. Then something like this. Let's turn this around. There we go. I feel like we can put something else right here. You know what? Let's take a look. Let's see. Um, yeah, a little bit of kind of storage like this would be kind of cool. Let's see, is it pass through on both sides? No, this side's blocked off. So maybe something like that. Let's see, can I customize the color on this one? Yes. Yes, customize. Color. Beige. Okay, cool. Let's see, now that bale and pallet storage really doesn't fit now, does it? Oh well, that's fine. So we might take that out and put something else in. All right, so this, yeah, right there. Perfect. So then again, if we go back, take this out. Let's see. There we go. I do get this. Like so. And like so. Okay. So I think if we kind of do something like that, and then it can naturally taper into the road network like that. Okay. All right. Yeah, I think that's looking pretty good on this end so far. We got a nice little road network. I think this is going to work out just fine. So, like I said, yeah, I'm going to address this. I don't like this, like, just really sticking out to me. I might do something different besides those as well. We'll see. Let's see. Demolition. Yes, I want to get rid of that. Okay. So we want to silos. Checking this out once again. See, I almost wonder if something like this might be worth putting in. Again, can I customize this one? Oh, I can put on solar panels and... Ooh, that is definitely not the same beige I've been using. Definitely not. Could be the one unique style of building, because this also has like bale and pallet storage inside of it. It says, yeah, it's got a pass through. Darn, that really won't work, will it? That really won't work. I mean, unless I do something like that. I could put it up right here, and then I can just blow out these things over here. So this is basically going to handle it all. So it's got to be turned around, doesn't it? Yeah, it does. It'd have to be like this. Yeah, I think like something like that. Hmm. Yeah, I think that'll be all right. Because then what we can do is this. We can kind of trace that in like so. Then we can trace all this like so. Okay. Then kind of same thing here where we're going to trace that in like so. And then trace this in like that. I feel like that might be too tight. Okay, something like that I think will be all right. If I got a big set of equipment coming in here, it's got plenty of space to maneuver. And now I'm gonna get rid of those. I'll put something else in there, that spot. You know what? That's what I'll put over here. Okay. No, I already know what I'm gonna do. So there. So, so I think this kind of tucked around the side over here. Then I don't know if I did that one good enough. No, not at all. Blech. Don't like that. Try that one more time. Right there. Nope. Turn that off. There. And then again. And do something like this to where that. There was no entrance on this side here, so that we could just leave how we had it. Okay. And then over here in this spot that we had all those bins, we can do something like this. Exactly where those other ones stood. Okay. And then, yeah, we could put in a little lime silo, a lime station. There. Okay. Okay. So back to this. Okay. So similar to this, we can have this fan out in that direction. We can even make this into like a Y. Like so it fans out in this direction. Maybe even kind of break it off over here. We'll tailor that down just a bit. Like that. There we go. There we go. Oops. Darn it. Didn't mean to do that. All right. So something along those lines. Okay. So now got a pretty good ways around here. Okay. So I think this is a good kind of layout for this area here. I think this will be nice and functional. Now, one thing I need to do, I need to remember to do, because I will forget, is kind of soften up around the buildings here. Because if I forget about that, there's going to be bumps and all sorts of nonsense. Something like that. Smooth around all these buildings. Just like so. Okay. So that, I think, is going to be better. Much, much better. So here, let me clean up that little bit right there. And like that. There. All right, so now let's paint some grass in here. Here, we'll put in some tall grass. So as we kind of follow the edging around, let's see, there we go. Oops. Get a little. There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think that can look good. Okay. Let's kind of clean up these edges here. All right. Here we go. So now we just need to keep on doing that for the rest of this kind of area, just kind of cleaning up a bit. There we go. Okay. All right. Yeah. So what I'll do here is I'll go ahead and just fast forward real quick so I can get all this grass painted. Once the grass is all painted, I'll pick it right back up and we'll figure out what to add in next. I'm thinking some foliage, some bushes, some trees that kind of jazz the place up a little bit. Yeah, I think that'll look pretty cool. All right, so we've got us a nice little base over here. And now I think what we can do at this point is really just start jazzing this place up. So adding some bushes, adding some trees. Now specifically what I want to do is I want to specifically use these deco trees because then I'm not going to have to worry about, oh, am I going to reach a tree limit or anything like that. I can just be good to go. So I think it's under decoration. Aha, there it is. There we go. Big old American elm. All right, from here, yeah, we want a big old oak tree. A couple of big oaks right out in front of the house. Thinking here, there. Little hickory tree. I think it'd be cool right out behind the building, about right there. I think right here as you're coming in, a couple of small little aspen trees, just like that. See that kind of, eh, see. Okay. So I almost feel like this needs to come out just like that. Just so you get more straight on. Yeah, so now you get a more straight on into the yard rather than anything else. Okay, I think a couple of bushes. And then let's add a couple. Well, it's just not fight. It's not working with me right now. Okay. All right, perfect. I think Oh, you know what? I think a nice... Yeah, here we go. Let's see, box elder. No, it's too short. Yeah, young elm right in between this U. I think that'd be pretty sweet. Actually, here, can we get it just a little bit bigger? No. Kind of clips through just a bit. Just a little bit. Do I? A little bit on both sides. I can delete it. Yeah. Yeah, how about a little cherry tree right in the middle? Right, like just like that. There you go. Yeah. And then let's go back to the bushes. There, something like that. Yeah. All right. Well, I wasn't planning on doing this, but I'm pretty much out of time at this point. So I'm gonna have to cut this off right here, right now. But I think this is kind of a good little start right now. Here, let's go this just real quick. Let me figure out how to do this. Ba, 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 ba. All right. So now if I oh, I thought huh. Oops. Huh. Some reason. Actually, oh, you know what? Okay, I could probably do this. So there. This kind of gives a more uninhibited view. I think this is a good little start. It needs a little bit of extras to it, some pizzazz, but I don't know. What do you think? I think this is turning out quite nice, quite lovely. It's going to have a nice little overlook into the valley there. Yeah, I like it. And then, of course, if we turn this around, yeah, look at that. I think that's pretty nice right there. You got all this stuff in the back that we're going to be able to build up and make into a nice little plot of land for animals. So, yeah, I think, like I said, a little bit of deco, a little bit of stuff just kind of hanging out here on the farm. I think this is going to look really, really slick when everything's all said and done. I really like it. I like this a lot. I'm pretty happy with this so far. But let me know what you all think because yeah, I do you want a part two? Do you want me to keep on expanding on this and making it something into a little bit more? Like I said, I think some details can be added in, some kind of tufts within the kind of gravel areas there, like some tufts of grass and stuff like that. That's kind of poking through. I don't know. I think this is a good little start. But let me know what you all think because If this is something that you find interesting that you want me to kind of continue with, then I'll do it. I'll absolutely continue on. But I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please show me by liking, sharing, subscribing, following, commenting, doing all the things the algorithms enjoy you doing to show you to engage with this channel and enjoying the content. And that being said, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. Take care.